Hi, Matt McCarty, Executive Director of the Terrace at Ruby View. We've been expecting you. It's great to see you, friend.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. It's good to see you as well.
Yes, absolutely.
We always appreciate the time that we're given, and thank you so much for that.
Oh,
I know that
welcome.
you were talking about GBC, and of course the program is sponsored by GBC, at least on our end. And so we are also very pleased. I heard you talking about the EKG and the phlebotomy. Their nursing program with Dr. Brian. And Brian, I'm so sorry.
Jankowski.
Yes.
Super guy.
Yes.
All of them are.
Yes. He is a good guy. And in, I think it's April, they're going to be bringing students over to the center to be doing some minor health checks, and nothing that would need prescriptions and no actual doctor type things, but general health screenings. And we love these kind of partnerships, and we're so thankful that we've been able to utilize our homegrown healthcare providers to give them more opportunity to not only provide health care for our seniors who need it, but also while at the same time learning valuable skills that will go on to hopefully help their career in the rural Nevada.
Oh, we so need folks just like that, the students you just described, for geriatric care, pediatric care, maternal health care. I mean, if you have a specialty or a desire, there's definitely a need for it. So that's really fantastic. So happy to hear that, because the Terrace at Ruby View is such a hub for senior activity, for all kinds of active living, for meals and socialization. Matt, I imagine this time of year, did you guys have Correliers, or is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow? No, it's a week from today. And today we had the Grammar 2 students.
Oh.
And last week we had the Mountain View students. So it is a wonderful time of year. We love having visitors come up to the center. And so we'll have the Elko High School Correliers next week on the 21st, which is our big Christmas dinner. And the beef for that dinner for our seniors is generously donated by the Elko County Cattlewomen's Association. So we love the fact that they are so supportive of us, and so they get our members get an amazing meal, and they get to be entertained by the spectacular Correliers.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. We talk about the circle of love. I think we get to thank Don Newman for that, former ECBA director. He talked about it all the time. When you go on like the Cattlewomen Tour, the holiday tour of homes, which was a couple weekends ago, then you're helping support things like this giving to the Terrace at Ruby View. It's just a big circle.
It is.
Yeah. Super cool, Matt.
Yes,
oh my
ma'am.
gosh. And I know you'll have lots to catch us up on today, because as always, you've got your plans and you've got things going into the new year. And we want to hear, I do want to mention, because I skipped over it because I knew you'd want to talk about cookies, right? You guys are selling cookies.
We are selling cookies, yes. So anyone that's come up to the center knows, I hope they know, that not only do you get a nice hot meal that's balanced nutritionally and it's a good serving, we have a dessert every day. Every day there's something. Maybe it's a lemon bar. Maybe it's a simple, I say simple, but we have this turtle parfait that is amazing. We take cheesecake filling and we put it into a small cup, drizzle over some caramel, drizzle over some chocolate, put a few pralines on top. Oh, it is so good.
It's a good thing you've been eating salads lately.
It is, because at the end of the week,
yes,
when we have extra desserts, particularly, almost always we have to throw them away. Thanksgiving, we were going to be closed for 4 days. That's right, 4 days. So Wednesday, they had made a lot of these turtle parfaits. Yeah, I went home with about a dozen of them. That was my breakfast for a few days.
Oh,
it worked out well. So yeah, I hope Dr. Simon don't be listening to that. That's not on my diet. That's not part of our plan, but that's okay. It sure tasted good.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah. But so anyways, on that, so in addition, we usually have cookies, or at least once a week we'll have some type of cookies, and people love them so much that during the holiday season, our chef had said, why don't we start selling these as well? And so cookies are only $10 for a dozen, and they're not Oreo sized. They're a good sized cookie, and we think it's got a value to them. So if you need a last minute gift, if you're a salesperson perhaps going to pay your respects to your clients or something, and you want some cookies, we can usually turn it around in about a day. We have 5 different varieties to choose from, snickerdoodle, and one of my favorites is the chocolate peanut butter fudge. So good. Regular chocolate chip, but we don't make our chocolate chip cookies like Nestle Toll House's recipe. We use a cake batter. And so this is a soft, chewy, cake-like cookie. It is so good. So we've got 5 different varieties. Give us a call or stop by the senior center, and we can get these arranged for you. So we'd be happy to provide your baked goodies needs if you are not able to visit the cookie encounter or some of our other amazing bakers in town. Then we also have an option for you.
Well, and every time we talk about any of these fundraisers, Matt, the proceeds benefit the Terrace at Ruby View. And so, it's never an attempt to compete with anyone or any business because you get so much support from the community. But just know that whatever it is that you do, even on this temporary basis, you're supporting the Terrace at Ruby View, which is super cool. I talked about the VIPs collecting donations for you guys.
Yeah. It is so great for this time of year. We have so many people reaching out to us. This year, Nuts Under a Buck, the Dudleys, have returned and asked for a senior giving tree. They, in turn, have reached out to their customers and have a list of things of what seniors have asked for. And we have the Vitality Center, or Vitality Unlimited, has also done something, but they've put a unique spin on it, and they're looking for our seniors that have pets, so that they can help provide the pets with a little bit, or at least provide the seniors with the pet treats or pet food to help out. And I probably shouldn't have gone down this track because I know I'm going to forget somebody, and I am so sorry for all of our wonderful donors, but the Elko County Realtors have been very generous, and we are thankful for them. So many of our members, this year particularly, we've noticed it. Many of them have said they don't want more stuff. They're downsizing. Whether it's because they're actually physically downsizing and moving into a smaller area, or something has changed in their life. And this is the cycle of life, and we understand that. And so I don't want it to seem like it's fatalistic, but many of our seniors are very capable. They're of sound body and mind, but they also recognize, I'm going to pass, and I don't want my loved ones to deal with all of this stuff that over 80 years I've collected. And so they're downsizing. So when we ask them, what would you like for Christmas this year? We have people that want to provide for you. They say nothing. Sometimes it's pride, and this is a very proud generation, and I understand that. But oftentimes they want nothing because they have so much already, and they want instead it to go to somebody who needs something because they feel, I don't need anything, and I don't want anything because there's somebody else out there. And so what we've really tried to push this year for those that we've asked for gifts is get a gift card. Take somebody out to lunch. We have dozens of wonderful restaurants here in town. Take your neighbor, take a friend, take a grandchild out to lunch, and let somebody else help pick up that tab. Go to a movie, get a membership at the museum, get a day pass at the Cowboy Poetry. We've tried to give them some other ideas that aren't a tangible, that is something that can be used and not stored. And we've seen a little bit of an uptick on that, just not quite as many as we had last year with stuff.
Right. What a great idea, and a wonderful example to set, Matt, because those experiences, memories, that in a sense, you can take it with you because that legacy lives on after you've gone, when you've chosen to spend time with a loved one or to make a new friend. Absolutely.
And that's where the Realtors have really, helped us and benefited us, because they're collecting a lot of gift cards. And what we've asked specifically for the realtors is gift cards to our grocery stores. Groceries are getting expensive. We are all feeling it in our pockets. And the seniors are oftentimes on a fixed income. As grocery prices go up, they don't have that way to be able to keep up with that inflation. And so sometimes a $25 gift card to a grocery store is enough for that week or that month to be able to say, okay, I'm okay now. I can continue to get what I need. So it's pretty awesome that everybody is stepping up so generously.
Well, thanks, Matt. Keep the gift giving coming, won't you? And of course, keep the great work coming from the Terrace at Ruby View. Matt McCarty is the executive director of our senior center. We're so pleased that once a month you come on and bring us up to date. And it really brings us up as a community, I think, too, because all this generosity really underscores what a great giving community this is, and that there's always room for more, and that you collaborate with a lot of agencies. In fact, we've spent some time this year talking about growth and the center now planning for the years to come.
We are, and that was something that our board had looked at as kind of a 5-year plan. Where do we anticipate being in 5 years? Our building is great. It's got solid bones. It's a wonderful area. It is the Terrace, beautiful view. I don't know. There are plenty of people who've never come up to the center. Come on up and just go out onto our terrace, onto our patio. You can overlook the city. It's just a beautiful sight. But the reality is that we are landlocked. We don't have enough room for parking. There are days like today where we have people parking on the street. We also are full in our dining room. And so we talked as a board. The board is, I've referred back to the board to say we need a plan. What are we going to do? Do we look at a capital expansion plan for the existing building? And if so, how do we mitigate parking? Or do we start looking at a new location that can have another 25, 30 years of growth, which this building has provided? This building is 23 years old now. And it's an amazing building. Like I said, great bones, great structure. We do have some ability to expand, but we can't expand the parking lot. And that's really the crux of where we're at. And so we are looking at that. What does the future look like? It's expensive. It's not something that we can just say, oh yeah, we're just going to go build this building and we've got our little $1 million in the bank and that's enough. That's not enough anymore. And so we're working on how do we address that.
Yep, and building on the legacy of the previous board, you do have a very active board of directors. You have active senior volunteers. We can't help but, I don't like to start naming names because then we leave people out. But, thinking of Chuck Knight, just thinking of the things that they could not have envisioned, but that they definitely created the foundation for.
Absolutely. It is amazing what they have been able to do. In fact, it's funny because the Free Press, of course, does their rewrites. And I think it was Monday's rewrite. 25 years ago, the Elko Senior Center is growing and is at capacity, and they're looking at building a new building. And so it was in the Free Press as the rewrite. And I think the existing building was built for $2.1 million, if I remember the article right.
Wow, that sounds about right, Matt, because again, we used to think $1 million was a lot of money. And and it's well deserved. It's an investment in our future when you talk about taking care of our seniors who have built this community, and we want to ensure this legacy for generations to come. All of us that are getting older, we want such a beautiful facility to continue. It just shows pride and care.
Absolutely. And there's a bit of selfishness that somebody could look at too, because the hope is we're all going to get old. We're all going to get to a point where we may need to utilize the services at the center, if for nothing else than to have a great meal with a good friend sitting right next to you and be able to socialize. And that's really what this is about, being able to make sure that we have this future that we can see to build on, as you've mentioned, the legacy and the foundation of those that have come before us and that have made this county what it is, that are making this county what it is today, and that are going to be able to make it what it is tomorrow too.
You're right, Matt, because retirement just doesn't mean the same thing that it used to. A lot of these folks are busy. They're building, they're growing, they're helping. Maybe their priorities are changing, but they are contributing in big ways. So
That's right.
It's a great conversation to have. I'm happy that you can have it here and that we can all look forward to that, because you're a great collaborator, Matt. And I want to make sure we're getting to things that you might have brought to the conversation today.
So we are, I'm waiting on a check. So next month, I'll be able to come back with hopefully some good news that I can share publicly. And so I'm waiting on that. And I also want to thank the hospital. The hospital was very generous, and at the end of the year contributed $7,500 back to the senior center. And it was way more than what we had asked for and had expected. It was so generous. And then they've invited us also to be a collaborator and a partner at one of their events coming up, so that there's another chance for even more, a little bit more of a bump. And so we're really thankful for them and happy for them. And I also want to put a shout out to the Elko Host Lions Club, because they also donated quite heavily. Because of the Lions Club and the association, we earned another $2,500. I shouldn't say earned, we were given another $2,500. So between those two organizations, it was a $10,000 gift that was terrific. And it helps our seniors, particularly those that are most in need. And we're so thankful for that. So I wanted to make sure that we put that out there. And then last weekend, 2 weekends ago, I'm trying to think, it's been so crazy. So 2 weekends ago, we had our 47th annual Christmas Bazaar. It was a terrific event. We'd sold all of our booth space and even managed to find some other spots to put people in, and it was a great event. We don't have final numbers quite yet. I just today sent the tax information out for the Department of Taxation, but it wouldn't happen if it weren't for all the visitors that come to the bazaar. So thank you to Elko County and those that came out from other areas to support the vendors that are supporting your Elko Senior Center. It was great to see those folks come out.
That's a huge fundraiser, and what Matt McCarty's describing happened on top of the Festival of Trees, which was generating money for 5 charity partners. And I think I just saw today that the unofficial figure is over $44,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you're on the ECVA board. Or no, you're
not
not on anymore. That's right. That's
yep,
right.
Yeah, I had to resign.
School
but
board. Yes, yes.
But no, yeah, it's great again being able to partner and have those collaborations. 2 great events in 2 great centers, 1 great location. It is terrific. And being able to see people that came in for the Festival of Trees on their last day and make some final bids, come over to our bazaar. Some of our bazaar people that look over and, what is that? They maybe have never gone to the Festival of Trees, see those and maybe bump up some of those bids as well. It's terrific to see that. And I love that collaboration, that spirit of being able to build off of and support each other. So I hope that we can continue this. Next year, our timing's going to be a little bit off, so we may be off by a week, because we are always the first full week in December, and usually the Festival of Trees is the last week of November. So we might be off next year, but we still love that partnership. It's so good.
Oh, yeah. And don't you love, speaking of being having been on the board, the e-center? That's so cool. They got a new sign, and now I think hopefully the e-center will stick, because the e-center really sort of reflects all the different things that they do. It's not certainly conventions where it's all about Elko. It's the e-center.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I think they got their new sign installed in November, right in time for the Festival of Trees, and so right in time for our bazaar as well. And I'm not going to claim that it was because of us that they put it in, of course, but we certainly like that was an option.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Love those scenes. And please drive carefully around there, because I'm one of the ones that, I'm gawking looking at the sign.
Right.
You need to slow down and look at the beautiful sign at the e-center. I want to make sure. Oh, bingo. You've got your flyer for bingo out.
We do.
Yes.
Normally, this would be the week of bingo. This week, it's for Spring Creek. It's almost always, this is the time that we've done it. But because we are utilizing very graciously, the Spring Creek Association has allowed us to use their boardroom. We utilize that for bingo. Their boardroom is being occupied this evening, and so we've moved bingo back 1 week. And because of the Christmas holiday, we've moved the Elko bingo up 1 week. So both bingos are next week. We'll have Wednesday in Spring Creek. Doors will open at 5:30. Game starts at 6. And then we'll have the Elko bingo the next day. Doors open at 5. Game starts at 5:30 for our bingos. So maybe get just a little bit more holiday cash and come on out. If you're in it for the win and you just like that thrill of winning, even if it may be a smaller dollar amount, Spring Creek is definitely the place to go. It's a smaller room. We have fewer attendees out there, so your odds of winning are much greater. Of course, the more people we have, the bigger the pot is. So if you want to get that big win in, $150, $200 almost, then come on into the Elko bingo. And that was our payout last month for our coverall. I think was $187 or something for one game.
Wow.
So so it was pretty good. And so we want to make sure that folks are aware of that. Starting next month in January, because we do have to move our Elko one based on the holiday schedule, we've made a permanent change. And so we're now going to move Elko bingo to the second Thursday. It used to be the 4th, but now it'll be moved up 2 weeks. So it'll be the second Thursday. We're leaving Spring Creek where it is on the third Wednesday, and hopefully we'll be able to make that work. And of course, if the association needs that room, then we'll make other arrangements. But that's generally what we're going to be looking at for the schedule.
All right. We'll make sure that we hit that hard and remind people so they don't miss their Elko bingo beginning in January. That'll be the second Thursday. The change, remember, game packets are just $10 each. You can get 10 games, 3 cards per game. Bingo daubers are available to buy there. You must be 21 or older. And that's kind of nice because some people are very serious about their bingo and they want it to be adults. The snacks and beverages are available, and so that way you're making a little extra. There's no outside food, so that's important to note too. But
yeah, for the Elko one, we do make that little bit of extra, and so that's why we ask no outside food. And in Spring Creek, you can partake in the menu of the club. And so there's a full restaurant and a full bar, and you're welcome to get what you'd like. The serving staff out there does an amazing job of bringing it into the room, and they'll deliver it for you. So
tip your waiter. Yes.
Tip your waitress
Please.
And waiters, please. Yeah, tip the staff because they do a great job for us.
Oh, wonderful. And if you need more information about these bingo events, you can always go online to elkoseniors.org or 775-738-3030.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I want to bring up one more thing. I mentioned, we talked about the dinner, the Christmas dinner for next week. And we talked about how generous the Elko County Cattlewomen's Association is. We had someone that approached us and said, we're looking for like 80 meals. Can you do that? And so we started looking at things. Obviously, the donation that we get doesn't cover an extra 80 meals. And so we were looking at what would it cost to buy it. So we really did a deeper dive into our food cost. And for this meal in particular, we realized we're not covering our bases. And our seniors will always be able to eat at the center for a suggested donation. We're at $3, and we're very pleased to be able to continue to keep it at $3. And it is a suggested donation. But recently, just this year, we did move our guest price up. Our guest price is now $10 generally throughout the year for any meal that somebody wants to join us at. But for this meal, it is such a good meal. It's beef steak with béarnaise sauce and asparagus, fingerling potatoes, tiramisu. It's going to be a wonderful meal. But for this meal, it's going to be $15 for guests. And the reason that I say that is because most of the time, our seniors, our members, they want to take their family out. And this is one way that they can do it with a good quality meal that's fairly inexpensive. So we've been letting them know. but we also know that sometimes people want to take their loved ones to the center for lunch, and we want to make sure that they're aware. It is for this meal only, guests are $15. We think it's still a really good value. Suggested donation stays the same for seniors because of the generosity of the Elko County Cattlewomen's and Bonanza, because Belinda does a great job of working with us on that as well. So we can keep our costs low. We just can't subsidize our guests. It's not fair for our seniors to subsidize those that aren't quite yet at our 60 and better.
Oh, and it's such a fabulous meal, as you mentioned. So on the 21st, is it the regular time, the noontime meal?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So we start at 11:30, and it'll run until 12:45.
Okay, and that's on the 21st.
Correct. That's Thursday the 21st. And the reason we did it that way is actually specifically because of the Corliers. We knew that they were out of school on that day. That's when Elko County School District starts their Christmas break, their winter break. And so we figured trying to get them back in on Friday might not work so well. So we've moved it to a Thursday for our Christmas dinner. And then we're actually going to serve breakfast the next morning. And so we'll have biscuits and gravy with sausage in the morning to get people ready to go into the Christmas weekend.
Wow, you have set the bar for the new year, Matt McCarty. So
it's our staff. They do an amazing job.
They do. And I can say, having been to the center, recently, just how much people enjoy each other, what a great opportunity it is. There are so many groups and activities, and everything from connecting and support to wellness to games and recreation to exercise to actual arts and crafts, all the things that can help keep us healthy and feeling good about ourselves. Mentally, emotionally, this kind of connection is really important. So,
absolutely.
And if you need a ride, there's always a ride through Get My Ride, which is Greater Elko Transit, 775-777-1428. And that can be door to door. You just need to register in advance if you're a new rider.
So. Absolutely. And I'm sure that we can probably find something if we absolutely have to. If you want to come up for our dinner and you're just not able to make it, I'm sure we'll be able to find something. But the partnership, again, that we have with Get My Ride is invaluable. We have people that we would not be able to have at the center if not for Get My Ride, and we're very, very blessed to have them as partners.
Yeah, we like to thank Elko County. County commissioners are the ones that decide that is the community decides it's a worthwhile program, but commissioners decide that it should be funded, and so we appreciate that, because some years you get nervous, because it's not quite a luxury, it's a necessity, but it is an expense, and so we're proud and pleased that our county government will continue to fund Get My Ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great confidence, Matt. Well, anything else before we close out? Because the next time we meet, it's going to be a brand new year.
It will be a brand new year. Very Merry Christmas. There are a couple of days of Hanukkah for those that are celebrating, and happy holiday season if there are other holiday traditions and celebrations that you celebrate that as you're listening out there. Thank you again, Lori, for this year of being a great partner with us, giving us the opportunity to have a little bit louder voice and be able to talk to the community and be able to thank our partners and our collaborators. It's a wonderful time of year. We had a terrific year, and we are looking for an even better year next year in 2024.
All right, we'll get to it. Thank you. Relax, enjoy the holidays with your family and friends, and don't go it alone. If you want some company, please, we'll put you in touch with the Terrace at Ruby View, and you'll find so many friends and such a warm, welcoming environment.
Yes, ma'am.
Today and going forward. Matt McCarty is our executive director, and Matt has just done amazing things with the Terrace at Ruby View. We're so proud of all the things you accomplish and how you inspire your staff, your leadership, and your vision for our community. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
I want to thank Laura, because she's such a sweetheart. She's an angel, and she is your wife, and she helps you. I know she does. So
yes, she does.
Yes.
She is invaluable to me. I would be lost without her.
Thanks, Laura, for keeping Matt straight so we can enjoy all that he contributes. And thank you, listeners, for joining us for another edition of Elko Live today.